Lisa Carrington rewrites the record books in stunning style. From the edge of elimination to the podium as Tom Walsh claims bronze. And from the sidelines to winning silver as Campbell Stewart pulled off the impossible. Welcome to Focus Sport. This is the Olympics News Wrap. Kia ora, I'm Cherie Kinnear, and Lisa Carrington is now officially New Zealand's most successful Olympian, with 6 medals to her name, 5 of those gold. Meanwhile, medals from Tom Walsh and surprisingly 2 of our cyclists pushed New Zealand's medal tally to 19, a Kiwi Olympic record. So let's take a look at how the historic day and more unfolded. In her final individual race of the Tokyo Games, the K1 500, Carrington quickly established herself as the front runner, and not one of her competitors ever really showed potential of catching her. She crossed the line in 1 minute 51.216 seconds before lifting her arm for her signature victory wave. She has one more thing to tick off her agenda today, turning her attention to the K4 500 heats. Meanwhile, K2 1000 paddlers Max Brown and Curtis Emery finished 5th in their final, an impressive finish to their Games debut. Shot putter Tom Walsh claimed his 2nd straight Olympics bronze medal, completing a dramatic reversal of fortunes. His Olympic dream almost ended in heartbreak during Tuesday night's qualification, but he was back yesterday stronger than ever, saving his best throw for last, 22.47 metres, to claim New Zealand's 16th medal. And if things couldn't get any better, our track cyclists stepped up and said, hey, it's our turn. Campbell Stewart, who was called in for teammate Aaron Gate in the Omnium after he crashed out the night before, won silver, pulling off the most improbable of comebacks on the final lap. It came just 40 minutes after Elise Andrews took New Zealand's first Tokyo track medal in the Keirin. It took a repechage for her to get there, but she signalled her medal potential, coming 2nd in the semi-finals to reach the deciding race. The result clearly an emotional one. And here was former New Zealand track cyclist Olympian Eddie Dawkins' thoughts on the results.
Obviously they've had a couple of tough days, and then Aaron going out the way he did really must have brought them all down, but Campbell's definitely brought himself back up, and I think the result will definitely reverberate through that team, and it'll get the boys up for the Madison, whoever's doing the Madison the next couple of days. In Elise's races, she didn't get very good draws, and she was at the back of the race at the start while the motorbike was going around for most of her rides. But one thing that happened in the first few rides is she would immediately go to the front. And then the last race was different. She didn't do that. She followed the Dutch ride around and then had a last-ditch attempt to try and get up for the gold. And I think that was a smart move considering the fatigue that was probably setting in over the day.
Elsewhere, Lydia Ko put herself in contention at the midway point of the women's golf tournament. She carded 4 under par 67 in the second round to improve to 5 under for the tournament, and she's currently tied for 9th. Andrea Anakan's Olympic karate campaign is over. She placed 9th in the elimination round of the women's individual kata. And Nick Willis's time in Tokyo is done too, failing to make the final of the men's 1500 metres. He finished 9th in his semi, delivering a season best time of 3 minutes 35.41 seconds. With all of that, let's take a look at the medals table. New Zealand are now ranked 11th with our biggest medal haul to date. 7 gold, 6 bronze and 6 silver. China, the US and Japan take the top 3, while the Netherlands sneak in at number 10. In international news, it turns out boxer David Nika isn't the only victim of biting at the Games. Kazakhstan wrestler Nuruslim Sanayev was seen biting India's Ravi Daya during his semi-final loss, and an investigation has been launched. And possibly the saddest story from Tokyo, a British heptathlete's brave attempt to finish a race with a major injury went unrewarded. Katarina Johnson-Thompson fell to the ground in agony after 80 metres of the 200-metre heat. A wheelchair was offered, but she decided to carry on and record a time, only to be told at the end she had been disqualified for stepping outside her lane. Well, turning our attention to today's action, Lisa Carrington hits the water again, this time in the K4 500. Lydia Ko is back, and there's more track cycling and even the 50-kilometre race walk. If you want to stay up to date with any of that, the New Zealand Herald has you covered. You can see when the New Zealanders are competing and how they're doing with our real-time Kiwi Games tracker and interactive schedule. Plus, you can catch live commentary of key events on News Talk ZB. Well, just 3 days left and still plenty of action to come. I'll be back tomorrow morning to wrap all the news and more. I'm Sheree Kinnear for Focus Sport.